you, Lord. Hello, 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 and welcome to Vessel of Hope. I'm here to give you your Tuesday goodness, your Tuesday greatness, just your Tuesday day to step away from what's going on this day, first day of April. Y'all, it's my month. I'm excited. It's my birth a month, right? Right? So thank you all so much for joining. Thank you so much, so much. Go ahead and do what I need you to do for me. For those of you that are on Facebook, I need you to click that love button. Show me some love. Click that love button for me and share it. And for those of you that are on YouTube, I need you to like, I need you to share, I need you to subscribe. Again, I say to you, I need a certain amount of number of subscription in order for me to stay on YouTube because they do new things. So we got to get it going. So go ahead and just copy it, copy the link, send it to somebody. Be like, hey, just go ahead and subscribe to this. You don't even got to watch it. Watch it if you want to, but subscribe to it, right? So go ahead and subscribe, like, and click the notification bar. Cause just in case, pre-adventure, I feel some burn in my spirit. I say, you know what? I need to say something Vessel Hope today on a random day. You know that I'm on. You're gonna get the notification once you click the notification bar, right? So go ahead and do that. Like, subscribe, and click the notification. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you all so much. I thank for those of you that are faithful, that just continue watching. I don't know, but you're faithful. I must be saying something that you like to hear, that you continue watching. But thank you for that. Thank you, appreciate that. So thank you all so much for joining us today on Vessel of Hope. And I'm glad that you are here, right, Prophet Loretta? I'm glad you're here, right, Sister BB? Let me preface all of this by saying allergies is, it's on fleek today. It's on fleek today. It's not playing, Prophetess Joyce. It's on another level, Prophetess Guy. But thank you all so much. But today we're going to be talking about what really happened, right? What really happened? You know what I'm saying? You don't know what I'm saying, but you're going to know what I'm saying because we're going to talk about it. What really happened? And it's a serious question. It's a serious question. Like the kids will say, they'll be like, all jokes aside, though, all jokes aside, like this is serious, all jokes aside, right? All jokes aside, Prophetess Guy. It's a serious question. I'm asking the question because I really want to know the answer. I want to know the answer of what really happened and what's happening and what's going on. What really happened? I want to know the answer of what's happening, of what's really happening in your life, or what got you to the place that you are right now. Right? So today we're going to have a conversation about what's really happened. In case you haven't figured it out yet, right? We're going to talk about what really happened. We're going to conversate, Prophetess Joyce, about what's really happening. So before we get into it, before we move into it, there's something I want to say. I want to tell you this, that there's three sides to a story. There's three sides. I'm telling you, true story. There's three sides to a story. It's your side, their side, and the truth. Yes, your side, their side, and the truth. Those are the three sides to the story. Your side is different from their side. And now we have to maneuver and find our way in there to find where the truth is at. I say this because, watch, before Jesus was being led up to the cross, he was led before Pilate, right? He was led before Pilate. And what happened? What Pilate said? Pilate said, I find no fault in him. That's Pilate's side of the story. Pilate found no fault. But the Jews said, give us Barnabas, crucify Jesus. That's their side of the story. But then Jesus had his side, and Jesus is the truth. So Jesus had his side of the story. So there's three sides of the story. Pilate's side of the story, the Jews' side of the story, and the truth, which is Jesus. So same in life, Prophetess Joyce. There's three sides to the story. There's your side, someone else's side, and the truth. You know, back in the days, I remember when I was telling Prophetess Joyce this the other day, when I used to work at Strawberry. For those of you that live in Brooklyn, you know, there was Strawberry in Kings Plaza. I used to work at that Strawberry. You can tell how long ago that was. I don't even think they still have Strawberry companies. But I used to work at the Strawberry in Kings Plaza, right? And back in the days, you had these forms. You had to go in, right? And you had to go and you put it, the time sheet. You go and you clock it in. You put it in the machine and clock it in and clock you in that time. When you go on a lunch break, you go and you clock it in, you clock out, and then when you leave for the day, you clock out again, right? So we had those sheets, right? And you couldn't fake it. If you got there late, you're supposed to be at 9 o'clock. You got there late, and at 9:30, what you got to clock in? It's gonna show you that 9:30. But now these days. I know this individual, she did home health aid, right? And you had to go into a phone system and you had to clock in through the phone, right? So you go, when you reach to the house, you clock in and you say you're there, and then they switched it around, Sister Glover. They switched it around where you had to go to your home, to the person's home, and use their home phone. So what happened? This individual told me she was always late. So she told the person who took care of her, she's like, can you clock me in? If she's supposed to be there at 9 o'clock. She knows she's running late. She's now getting up at 9 o'clock. So she'll call the person and say, can you clock me in? Can you go ahead and clock me in? So they call her, they think the number, they clock her in at 9 o'clock. And what's that? There's no truth there. Because her physical body's not in the facility she's supposed to be, but it shows that she clocks in at that time. So then there's her side of the story, right? There's the person that she's working for side of the story, and then there's the truth in the midst of all of that. So they have to decipher and find where that truth is. So there's three sides: your side, their side, and the truth. So within every story, again, there are sides, and it's up to you to try and decipher what really happened. What should you believe? This is the key point here. What should you believe? What should you say is true, or what should you trust? In trying to figuring out what happened, and I'm talking about, this is a broad scale, whether it's in your life and just in general. In trying to figure out what's happening, things that's happening, you have to know what you should believe and what is the truth. And let me say this on the flip side. There's so many doctrines that are going on. There's so many different theologies of Christendom, or Christology that's happening, that's being preached or proclaimed or being said. And you have to know the truth. You have to know what really truth is to you. You have to know your side of the story and whether you can stand on your side of the story. So again, it's three sides to the story: yours, theirs, and the truth. In order to find out what really happened, the main thing is you have to know is the truth. I said it again, and I'll say it before, and I'll say it again. Excuse me, take a sip. So Prophetess Diaz, you have to try to find out what the truth really is. That's how you know what happened. What is the truth? I tell you, I said this before. I love to watch docu-series, and I love to watch documentaries and things like that. And I'm always watching, and I'm busting a posture and be like, girl, I just watched this show. Let me tell you what happened. And it always trips me out, because what happens, especially if the docu-series or the documentary I'm watching, one of the person is deceased, we're hearing the side of the individuals that's alive, right? And we're hearing the evidence that was presented, but we can't hear the side of the person that's deceased. So there's three sides here: the side of the individuals that are alive, the side of the evidence, and the side of the person that's deceased that cannot speak for themselves. So there's usually three sides to these stories: yours, theirs, and the truth, right? So again, in order to figure out what's happening, you have to know the truth. Here's what John 8:32 said. This is the God Word Translation. We know it, we quote it, we say it, we throw it out there, and it says, "You will know the truth, and the truth will set you free." Prophetess Guy, King James Version, said, "You shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free." So make you and set you. But the key thing here is that the truth does something. Let me do a little bit of exegesis here for 2 seconds on this scripture here. This is referring to salvation, knowing the salvation, the truth of salvation, who Jesus is, and knowing Jesus and receiving salvation through the truth of Jesus. But I'm going to pull this text out and use it in a different format, because at the end of the day, it's going to sum up to exactly what it should mean, what you know it to mean, which is truth sets you free. Truth makes you free. So this is what this scripture is saying: ye shall know the truth, and the truth will make you. It will make you free. King James, you shall know the truth. The truth will set you free. So there's a setting, right? There's a setting of freedom. And there's a knowing of freedom when you acknowledge truth. This is why, again, what really happened, three sides to the stories: yours, theirs, and the truth. So when you understand the truth, Prophet Loretta, when you grasp the truth, when you get the truth, it sets you free, or it makes you free. What truth does? It makes you free. What truth does? It sets you free, right? So when you try to find out what's happening, or what's going on, or what's happening, you have to know the truth, right? So watch. There are lots of individuals that need to know the truth in order to be free from what happened. And we're talking about, if you want me to put a little more emphasis, or a little bit more understanding, truth of what happened yesterday, the truth of what happened 10 years ago, the truth of what happened 5 years ago, There's a lot of individuals that's living. I don't understand. I don't even know how that happened. I don't understand what happened. Because you have to find the truth in order to know what happened. Like, oh my gosh, I don't even know what she's talking about. She's just saying this, going over. But you're gonna get it. You're gonna get it. It's gonna make sense to you, Prophetess Joyce. You're gonna get it. Right. So here, again, there are lots of individuals that need to know the truth in order to be free from what happened. The truth that maybe it really wasn't your fault. Sometimes you need to hear that. Maybe it really wasn't your fault. That fault really was in the other person. You only did what you thought was right. I'm telling somebody that today. That fault really was the other person. It wasn't you, sister. It was the other person. You did what you thought was really right. And in doing what you thought was really right, the outcome turned out to be another way. So maybe truth is that it really was the other person. Or maybe truth is that maybe you did make the right decision. Sometimes you have to come to a conclusion, or you have to come to a decision, and you make it, and it's like, oh man, did I make this right decision, Prophet Guy? Did I do this right? And you sit down and you ponder. It's already done. You already made the decision, but now you're trying to contemplate, did I make the right decision? Maybe you really did make, the truth is, right, that you really did make the right decision. Think about that. The truth is that you really did make the right decision. And that's it. And you have to come to terms with that. What really happened is that you made the right decision. And sometimes your right decision can cause a rippling effect. Like me. Apostle and I were talking about this the other day, right? Apostle and I were talking about this. Apostle, you know what Apostle said to me? Y'all, she gave me a compliment she didn't even know. Apostle said to me, she said, you catch these things quicker. And I was like, I know I do. I know I do, sister. I know I do. Cause if I see you coming at a distance and how you coming, I'm like, nah, I can't. Nah, no, I'm not. Nope. I'm not doing that. I'm going to keep you at a distance. I'm that kind of person. I be, the world will say instincts, right? But I run on my discernment real quick and in a hurry. I don't question my discernment. Real quick in a hurry. I'm like, no, that person not looking right. They look a little crooked. They look a little crooked. I'm not doing that, right? And because I already know this is the truth in that person, I go through their stories or what they tell me with a fine teeth comb, as we say. Or with the smallest needle ever, I will go through their stories, because I say, okay, you already know that person. You already know where they're coming from, right? So the decision that I will make in reference to that individual or those individual is based on the truth that I know about them. You get what I'm saying? So when things happen, right, that really happen, at the end of the day, no, I'm not going to blame myself because I made the right decision. Because I made the right decision. And that's what you need to do sometimes. Sometimes when things happen, you need to say, you know what? That decision that I made, it was right. It was right for me. There's a peace about it. I feel better about it. Because now you see the character of that person, or now you see how the story is evolving, or now you see the outcome and you say, man, I'm glad I got out of that, boy. Because what? Because you know the truth. Because you saw the truth. Or what? Truth may make you feel on the other side, likewise, right? Truth may hurt as well. Truth may hurt. I always say, I'd rather you tell me a hurtful truth than a foolish lie. I'd rather. Whether you think it's going to hurt me or not, tell it to me because it's the truth. Whether you feel I'm going to be offended or not, tell it to me because it's the truth. But when you tell me a foolish lie, that's when I'm like, ooh. The other night, Apostle was preaching on Sunday, and she was talking about, she was just talking about when God remembers you and all these other things. And I was like, oh, and I was like, boy, when, I'm so thankful that the Lord has saved me, because sometimes you just want to punch some people, right? You just want to punch them because they're lying, right? So this is why I say, tell me a hurtful truth than a foolish lie. Because when you lie, and my mother P always like to say, a liar never remember the last word. And it's true story. It's true story. They don't remember the last word because, I'm good remembering what someone said before. So if you tell me something else, I'm like, but that's not what they said. I'm telling you, that's not what they said. They said this like this in quotation. Then 2 weeks later, now they're saying this like this. And I'm like, oh boy, you see, there's no truth. There's no truth there. So what happens in the relationship with you and that person, or what happened in the connection with you and those individuals, it's now broken because what? There is no truth. It's same as kids. When kids lie. When kids lie. I was watching this thing the other day with a little kid, and they had frosting all over their face. So the mom said to him, what happened to the cake? He said, I don't know. She said, smile for me. Smile, his teeth is blue because the frosting was blue. His teeth is all blue and frosting all over his mouth. And she was like, you don't know what happened to the cake? And he's like, no, I don't know. And she said, are you lying to me? He said, nope. I said, wow. And face plain. And this child is like 5 years old. I was like, wow. I said, that's dangerous. That's a dangerous child to keep a straight face with the evidence right there. And they're lying. They don't understand the truth. They don't understand that the truth will make them free from that situation. Because if they tell their parents the truth, if he had told his mom, yes, mom, I ate the cake, I ate the frosting, it's all in my face, blah, 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 the mom might probably say, okay, well, thanks for telling me the truth. But now he's given a foolish lie because the evidence is right there, right? So again, tell me the painful truth rather than a foolish lie. So what really happened? What really happened? What really happened, Brother Perry? In order to understand what really happened, you have to get to the truth. And truth makes you free. Likewise, again, it hurts. Truth makes you free, but it hurts. How does it hurt? Because truth is that maybe you are the blame. You know, Murray used to say, you are the father. Maybe you are the blame. But sometimes you don't want to hear the truth, that it was your fault. Maybe you are the blame. It was your fault. But you have to own that truth, that it was your fault. You know, and I like to hear, you know, it's always so funny when you're hearing spouse, right? They're coming to tell you one side of the story. Oh, and she did this and she did that and she did this and she did that. It's a song, Prophet Loretta. She did this and she did that and she did this and she did that, right? Right, Prophet Guy? It becomes a song. And I'm always like, okay, but what did you do? What did you do? Because maybe you are the blame. Why did you come home at 11 o'clock when you told her you were going to be there at 7 o'clock? But when you got in, you never called and told her that you were going to be late. And now you're upset that she's mad that you came late when she called you, but you never responded to her call. Simple things. But you're saying, oh, I walked in the house. She was all upset. She started throwing bays at me. She was throwing the pots. I hit in the head. You see this big old bump? I had to go to the ER. And I couldn't even tell him that she did this because this is what happened. And then, oh, it's all one-sided. But maybe you are the blame.
Tiger Woods.
Oh, boy, Pastor said Tiger Woods. Maybe you are the blame. But, you know, when you are the blame, when you're at fault and you don't want to own up to the truth, you always try to make someone else look bad. And that's what really happens. It's the truth. And that is the honest God truth, as they say. When you're at fault and you want to be depicted in a good light or as the angel, right? Or as the nice person, you're going to throw the blame on everyone else. But a wise person would say, but what happened to lead it up to this? Or what did you say that gave them that reaction? Or what did you do that made that happen? Because if you just walk in the house and somebody just throwing bases at you, that person needs to go in the G building because something's off there. So something must have happened. So sometimes you are the blame and you have to own that truth. I don't like when people like, oh, but this is my truth. This is my truth. That's foolishness. When they my truth. You know, I know this is what the Bible said, but this is my truth. I'm not talking about that. That's just nonsense. That's my favorite word. That's nonsensical. I'm not talking about that truth. I'm talking about the truth that you know that you're the blame for, and you need to own up to it. Oh boy, right? Or maybe the truth that maybe you should have handled that situation differently, Prophetess Guy. You should have handled it differently. You shouldn't have went and told everybody about it. You shouldn't have put the blame on someone else or on one person, but you should have handled it differently. And sometimes we don't like to do that. And I was telling the pastor the other day, right? We was talking about something. I think we was talking about cousins. She was in Guyana and she's coming, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, you know, one thing about Guyanese people, man, or the village you grew up in, one thing about them is that, listen, you tell a story, we ready to hear it. And they used to do this, and my cousin used to love to do. When she coming over and she got something, she'd be like, girl, no, I can't even do it. That. Prophetess Guy, I'm sure you know about that in Jamaica, right? And they be like, and she'll say, Tech Ups is bitter. Tech Ups is bitter. Meaning what I gotta tell you, it's so bitter that it's good. And we as individuals, right? We as individuals, someone's going to tell us something, whether it be to bring down someone or to lift them up or to share a story or to create scandal. It's so bitter that you want to hear it. And you're like, girl, what happened? What happened? It's so funny when I'm talking to my best friend, we're having a conversation, and I'm like, girl, let me tell you. She's like, girl, what happened? It don't matter. It doesn't matter if I tell her, like, I just had the greatest coffee. If I'm like, girl, you not believe, girl, what happened? She straighten up herself because she knows it's something I'm about to tell her. And I'm like, girl, my coffee was delicious. I'm like, don't you tell me? Yes, because you're eager. You're ready to hear what's about to be said. Right? But maybe you should have handled that situation differently. You should have said, you know what? I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear. And I'm big on that. I'm like, if I know this conversation is going south, nope, I don't want to hear it. I'm not in it. I'm not in it to win it. Nope. Because I don't want to be sitting there like, oh, Lord, I can't believe they said that. Oh, Lord, I can't believe they did that. Oh, they do the same thing in worldwide gossip. Yes, exactly. Worldwide gossip. And you can't help but to want to hear. Right? You can't help but to want to hear. I tell you many times, Mother P, when she's on the phone with her old people, with her elderly like her, and they're having conversation, and one person say, you know what this person from the village called and said about this person, and Mother P like, oh God, what happened? And I pass by, I'm like, oh Lord. First of all, I don't want to hear because I don't know these people. Talk about people I don't know, so it's no relevance to me. But because again, I'm use a guy in the word, because the text is so bitter, because what they're about to say is so sweet, you want to hear it. You can't help but to hear it. And the Bible talk about the itchy ears. You want to hear. You want to know what's going on, but you have to be careful, because the truth is you are the blame. If you didn't hear it, you wouldn't feel that way. If you didn't hear it, you want to act that way. If you didn't hear it, you want to done this way. So what happened? Because you heard. About used to sing the song, have you heard about Jesus? Our pastors are. Because you didn't hear it, you wouldn't know. So sometimes some things are better left not being heard. Because when you hear it, it leads you down a road or down a path of just destruction and disruption. And then when you sit back, you say, oh my gosh, what happened? What happened is that you heard. Oh my. Again, truth makes you free. Likewise, sometimes the truth hurt. Has someone ever said something to you that you just like, I can't believe they said that. I can't believe. But then when you really sit down and process it, you're like, oh my gosh, they were right. Wow, I'm glad they said that. I'm glad they brought that to my attention. Because naturally, no one wants to acknowledge the flaws in themselves. No one wants to acknowledge the bad things about themselves, right? No. And more so, you don't want others acknowledging the flaws in you. You don't want others to tell you the bad things in you. So when someone come to you with the truth and tell you this is what it is, this is what you're doing, this is how this is happening, you don't want to hear it. So what happened? What really happened? The truth. The truth, again, it'll make you free. Knowing these truths does not make you a bad person. It just allows you to acknowledge what really happened, and it will hopefully help you to move forward and make better decisions in the future. So what happened? I learned. Man, I tell you. And Apostle, we talk about this a lot, about the learning pains, right? Because sometimes learning hurts. It hurts you when you find out that that person that you trusted, that person that you love, that you expected to live the rest of your life with, that they're cheating on you. It hurts. Oh, it hurts. It hurts. It hurts when you find out that you think that you're a great parent, that you're doing your best, but your kids are going around and saying, my mom, she's no good. My mom, she don't love me. My mom. It hurts. It hurts when you find out the truth, right? It hurts when you find out the truth. So what happened? You learned from it. He said, man, you know what? This should make me a better person. And this is why, for me, I'm very cautious in who I trust. Very cautious. And Apostle like to say all the time, you trust no one. I sure don't. I trust Jesus. I trust Jesus and I trust my family. I trust that if I ask a pastor to make me a cup of coffee, she's not going to put arson inside. But I got to ask on a good day because you never know, man. I might be getting on the nerve. I'm just kidding. She's going to put salt in it and be like, what is? What is this, right? So I'm very careful with the trust that I give, because once trust is broken, oh, it's hard to build that up. You ever hear this married couple, their spouse was cheating on them, and then now they're trying to build back the relationship, and they're trying to work towards it, and all she keeps saying is, I don't trust him, I don't trust him, I don't trust him. And he's like, I don't understand why you don't trust me. I proved myself, I don't understand why you don't trust me. She's like, I don't trust him, I don't trust him, I don't trust him. And now what's the advice? You give him and say, you know what, you have to work for her trust to come back. You have to prove to her that you can be trusted. Likewise, she have to prove to you that she can be trusted. They have to have an accountability. So what really happened? Again, another thing, there's no accountability. There's no accountability. I answer to me, I answer to myself, I answer to I. If I'm out of this house by myself, if I'm doing an errand, I'm out by myself, or if I'm dropping something off, or I'm out late and I'm coming out. I'm usually out late because I gotta pick somebody up, drop somebody. Usually pick my cousin up from the airport and drop her off, or I have a late appointment in Brooklyn, and on my way back, what do? I either text Apostle, be like, I'm on my way, or I call Mother P. I'm just leaving. I'm on my way. What is that? That's accountability. That is going to take me maybe 2 hours to make it back home. So in that 2 hour time frame, you should see me. But if I finish my appointment, I'm dilly-dally doing whatever, and then 3 hours later, oh, now you on your way? You're supposed to been here already. I lack accountability. So what really happened? Sometimes you don't want to be accountable to someone. I'm just saying it out there, right? You're right, Prophet Loretta. Trust is very important. It is. Trust is extremely important. So you have to have trust to find out what really happened, and you have to have accountability. When you come to the realization of the truth, your entire perception of things that have happened will change. Prophet Patricia, I'm telling you, I'm talking to you. Yeah, I'm talking to you, Prophet Patricia. When you come to the realization of truth, your entire perspective on things that has happened will change. It will change. Because what? Because you know what? Now I realize I can take fault in this. Now I realize I can take flaw in this. Or on the flip side, now I realize it really wasn't my fault. So I can try work ways to get over it and move on, because it really wasn't me. Was it I think Shaggy sing a song, It Wasn't Me, right? But it really, proudest guy, but it really wasn't you sometimes. So trust is hard to build when you are betrayed. Prophetess guy, listen here. Don't I know it? This is why once you break that trust from me, trust Jesus. Once you break that trust, it's hard. It's hard to build back. It's hard to move back. It's hard to pull that person back into that circle. Brother Barry. They gonna look for you, Brother Barry. It's hard once that trust is broken. It's hard. Just like in anything. If you trust in a pastor and that pastor betray your trust, you trust that pastor and that pastor, or you found out that pastor is sleeping with the treasurer. And sometimes, let me just say this real quick. I don't understand. Like some people, they go to churches and they hear these pastors are committing adultery and doing all these crazy things, and people still sit there. Something is wrong. You're trusting in the wrong thing, or you never had trust at all, and you're just like, I just need to put my physical body somewhere. So when trust is broken, it really is hard. It really is hard to build that back, because there's a betray there, and once you've been betrayed, I'm telling you, it's a hard thing. It's a hard thing. And again, what really happened is that sometimes why it's hard for individuals to trust is because they've been betrayed so many times. They're like, you know what, I'm not doing this no more. No, as a person I was saying yesterday, done. Right? It's hard. It's hard not going to say, oh no, you know what? I've been betrayed so many times walking down this same road. Nope, I'm not going to do it anymore. I put my trust in this person or in these individuals, I'm not doing anymore. And this is why sometimes even in simple relationship with a spouse, right? You've been an individual may have been with someone who've always cheated on them, who've always belittled them, and now they're married. Now they have this individual, they're married to someone that they love, that that loves them. And imagine that person just one time, oh, I'll be home in an hour. And an hour and a half later, they got in. But you say you go home in an hour. Babe, did you not see the news? There was a big old accident. I was stuck in traffic, and I text you. You didn't see the text, because what they've been living in a life of betrayal because that's the relationship they knew. So now it's hard for them to even trust the person that's giving them truth, that person that's loving them, and that person that's building an accountability. So we have to be careful. We have to understand what really happened in life, right? So it'd be easy for us to trust people. So it'd be easy for individuals. I'm not saying trust everybody. You got to try the spirit. Try the spirit. Try the spirit by the spirit. Prophet Sharice loved to say, try the spirit by the spirit. Yeah, you have to try the spirit. You have to know the person. You have to say, you know what? I see this trait. I see this trait. Nope, that's the same trait as that person. Let me keep my distance. Let me not put my trust there because I see this trait. So we have to be careful. So again, say it one more time and I'm done. When you come to the realization of the truth, your entire perspective on things that has happened will change. Because what? Because you've been there, done that, experienced it. You bought the book, you threw it away, you lent it to someone else, and now you're moving on.
Shama.
Because your entire perspective on things has changed. It has shifted. So when you find out what really happened, there should be a change. And I know we use this word a lot. We talk about it a lot. Apostle was talking about it even on Sunday. Maturity. There's nothing more annoying than someone that's not mature. When I'm dealing with the kids, they're kids. They're going to act like kids. I'm not going to go to them and be like, I'm not going to be like, you need to articulate yourself better. No, but I'm not going to do that. You're a little kid. Be a kid. Say what you're going to say, how you're going to say it. Figure it out how you're going to figure it out. Let's talk. Let's have a conversation. But when you're grown, as Paul said, when I was a child, I spake of the child, I understood of the child. When I became a man, I put away childish things. But now you're grown. Now maturity happens. We shouldn't be acting childish. We shouldn't be doing childish things. You only act childish if you go into a circus. But then maturity should take its place. Right? So, again, you learn from it. You learn from it and it brings change. Okay, let me finish up because it's draining out now. But if there's one thing that I've learned about human nature is that sometimes nothing really happened. True story. Sometimes nothing really happened. You didn't cause them to have that reaction. You didn't do, girl, you didn't do nothing. It wasn't you. You didn't say what they are saying that you said. Come on now. You didn't do anything that would hold you at fault. Sometimes nothing really just happened. People will just be people. Yes, people will just be people. I remember one time, a family member, we're really close and friends and so on and things and stuff. Then all of a sudden I saw them one day. I haven't seen him in a while. And I saw them one day and I was like, hey family, how you? When I address my family, I'm like, hey, I'm always like, hey family. Just in case somebody don't know, they gonna know we family. Hey family, blah, 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 blah. And the person's like, oh, I don't talk to you because you think you're a big shot now. I was like, what? Think I'm a big shot? What? Like what you talking about, Willis? Like, sis, we talk all the time. Like you're the one that stopped talking to me. Like we've been cool. We you know. I'm like, what? I was like, this is so weird. So anyway, so Apostle was in the car. She was sitting in the car. She was waiting for me, and so I went to the car and I was like, girl, you would not believe what this trifling woman just said. I was getting tired. I was like, she done lost her mind. Talk about me. So Apostle was like, wait, she's like, and she just looked at her like almost the person looked at her, rolled her eyes, and just kept on walking. And I was like, you see, we didn't do nothing to my knowledge, to my understanding, our last conversation was great. Our last conversation was with praying. That was the last conversation. We're praying. We're praying on this situation. We're praying on this issue. That was the last conversation. I was like, this is just, sometimes you really do nothing. Some people just want to find reasons and flaws in you. Now we got an apostle in the spirit over here. And again, this is why when someone come with a story. I don't know, this is what you're saying, but what really happened, Prophet Loretta said jealousy. And and I think that's exactly what it was. I think that's exactly what it was. Some people malice you. No, you're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right, Prophet Guy. Some people just have malice for no reason. Sometimes you really have done nothing. Some people just want to find reason and flaws in you to say, this is what happened. This is why I'm not talking. You're like, what? Why did that make sense? If someone ever stopped talking, you're like, I don't understand why they're not talking. But then you heard it through the grapevine, as we like to say, you heard it through the grapevine that someone said that you did this to this person, and this person thought it was true, so they stopped talking to you because of what they heard. That's foolishness. And this is where maturity comes in. This is why I always say, you have a problem with me? Come tell me. Come say what it is. But hey, if we're friends, come to me as a friend. But if you're a saint and you're coming to me as a pastor, watch yourself. Watch yourself. Because there's a respect level I gotta go there. But if we're friends, hey, this is what happened. This is what, my friend and I we had a niff, right? And so she texted me this, and I was like, girl, I'm mad at you. I didn't say mad. I said I'm angry at you, and this is why. So we started out, we came to a conclusion, this is why, this is what happened, so everything. But if you're having a niff with somebody, go to them. This is what happened. This is what I heard. This is what it is. Or, as I finish, or if you feel like someone did something to you, go to them. But again, it's that feeling thing. I can't stand that feeling thing. It's not feeling things. Listen, with women, we got menstrual that give us different feeling. We got peri that give us perimenopause that give us different feeling. You got menopause that give you a feeling. When you're pregnant, you got different feelings. So there's a lot of feelings and emotions that go through. So you got to be careful and not let your feelings come in the way of what really happened. So again, sometimes it's really not your fault. You did nothing. It's just someone else looking for reasons and excuse. Prophet jealousy is the devil. You're right. You're right. It is a devil. So if there's anything that I really want you to understand today is that things will happen. It will happen. Life will happen. Situations will happen. Circumstance will happen. People will happen. But remember, people will always be people. But you have to know the truth. In all that happens, you have to know the truth. Find a reason to make sense nonsensical. Absolutely. You said it, Prophet Loretta. Make it make sense, right? You have to know the truth of what happened. No excuse, but truth. Not a blame, but truth. So again, in finding out what really happened, you have to know the truth. I was remembering when I was a little girl. I was probably like 5 or 6, right? 5 or 6. And yeah, like 5 or 6. And my grandma, my father's mother, she died. And we were at the funeral. So we're at the gravesite, and they put her down. And this is for my cousin. She was like, oh no. And she's like trying to jump to go into the hole with her, and I'm like, just let her go, because she's too extra, she do too much, let her go. But anyway, so it was a sad moment, right? And I started crying. It wasn't like bawling, but I started crying. And I don't know, our family, Mother P, she raised strong kids. Like, don't be just crying for no reason. That's stupid. Don't cry for a reason, right? So, as she say, if she's spanking you, you're not crying. Oh, you're not crying? You think you're big? You think you're ball? And if you're crying, why are you crying? And it hit you yet. So, Brother Perry, I was shedding tears. I was crying. And Mother P said to me, she's like, what happened? And I'm 5 or 6. And I can't articulate what's going on. But I just know I was feeling these emotions. I was having these feelings of like dread. Like, oh my gosh, my grandma has died. And I know that I'm not going to, I know that is finality in the back of my 5-6-year-old brain. That is finality. I won't see her again. And she won't be here anymore, which means that it's not a guaranteed meal for me no more. Because you go to grandma's house, it's guaranteed breakfast, lunch, and dinner. When you stay home, it's no guarantee. You're going to get a meal, but it's going to be one meal. But grandma's house, you get breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So I'm like, oh, there's no more food there. So I'm crying. Oh, there's sorrow and there's sadness. And Mother P said to me, what happened? She said, what happened? She looked down. What happened? Oh, yeah, what happened? And she thought, at that time, my brother, he's 3 years older than me, Mervin, she thought he hit me. That's why I'm crying. So she said, Mervin hit you? And I was like, no. I was like, no. She said, so what happened? But it's like I couldn't say to her, I couldn't articulate the words that I'm feeling sorrow because my grandma is dead and I'm at the funeral right now, and I'm going through these feelings and these emotions, right, Sister Glover? I'm going through these things, Sister Trinice, of what's going on because my grandma's passed. So she asked me again, girl, what happened? And then I finally said to her, I'm sad. No, Mother P, she ain't hearing that. You can't be sad in Mother P's house. Better get yourself together. But I said I'm sad. And the main thing is that she just kept asking me what happened, but I couldn't say it. The words couldn't come out until I caught myself, 5, 6 years old, and I gathered myself together and realized what I was feeling here was sad. What happened was sadness. And that was the truth, that I was sad. So sometimes what really happened, you can't put words into it. And it may take a while, but you have to come to that conclusion and say, you know what? This is what really happened. And the truth is this, right? So I hope I made some sense to you. I hope something pulled out and you gathered something that I said, right? And I thank you all so much, Sister Glover. I thank you all so much for watching, for being a part of Best Love Hope. And I don't know if you know, but there was a vlog up. Let me look over my editor-in-chief if they put it up. There's a vlog up. Not yet, but it's going to be there. It's going to be there.
It was up there.
Oh, and it's up. It's up 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago. There's a vlog up. So for those of you, if you haven't caught it, it's right under there, www.hellomarcelsampson.com. Go ahead and read it. Comment. Make it. If you got questions about it, say it. If you disagree with what I'm saying, say it. I want to hear your voice. I want to hear what you have to say. But thank you all so much for joining us today again on Vessel of Hope. Love and appreciate. Let me pray for you before you go. Thank you, Lord, for your people. Thank you as you keep them on this day, through this week. I thank you, Lord Jesus, that they will have the understanding of what happened. And in that understanding, they will gain maturity and they will know the truth. Because again, the truth, it makes them free. It set them free. It make them become a better Christian, better person. So continue to keep your people and bless them indeed. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. Love and appreciate you all. Don't forget www.hellomarcelsampson.com. Go and check it out. Read it. Let it be a blessing to you. And thank you all so much. And as always, I will see you all here next week. Happy April. Mwah! Bye now. God bless you.